Hi, I'm Adrian Salisbury, this is SLR Coaching, and today we're going to have a shootout between these four gel mediums to see which does the best job of transferring a photo onto wood. Okay, so we've done a lot of photos onto wood. Mostly I've been using this stuff, and a video that I've just put up was a bit of a fail. I put a whole load of these blocks, in fact it's the other side of these, and this ran out. Bought some more of this stuff. I was told it was the same, but whether it's because of that, whether it's because of a lack of sanding, I had a batch of fails and I'm not happy with that. So I wanted to get to the bottom of it and figured why not have a bit of a shootout. Gel Medium is definitely a great product for this. I've always done well with this one, but because it's made me think there's a difference, I've figured let's have a go. This is one that I linked to on Amazon but haven't actually used. It's just that I thought it was the same stuff. Very keen to give this a run. Mod Podge I've never done well with. I had a couple of fails. Photo onto guitar, photo onto canvas. Look them up in the playlist and you'll see that this totally just pulled the paper, the image straight off of the product I was sticking it to. But why not? We've got four products here. Now, one of the things I think was a fail with using these little wooden blocks last time around is that I figured they were smooth enough and I didn't need to sand them. But this time I'm a step ahead and I'm trying to eliminate any problems that there might be. So I've taken my little sanding block and I've just given them a really good sanding down, going with the grain. And yes, I can feel that it is different and maybe that was where I went wrong. So stage one, we're going to sand these down. Now stage two, something else that I think should have done last time around. I got straight into it, I got my brush out, slapped on the gel medium, put on the photo, left them to dry. This time around, we're just priming it. We're actually, with each of the products, I've put a coat on already. And it's quite interesting because this one, which is my good one from before, has got a glossy finish on that. I can tell that I've painted onto this. All I did was to take my sponge, dip it in here and brush it on. So actually, because you're applying it with this, it will take quite a bit off with it as it goes. So you don't need to be asking how thick to put it. Just lightly go over with that and it'll take off anything excess on there. So this one I can definitely see has got a coat of something on it. And interestingly, the Mod Podge seems to have the same thing. But these two, I actually looked this morning and thought, did I put anything on these? But I know I have because I've written the names on the back of them. So maybe there's a bit of a clue there as to how this, if that absorbs straight into the wood, but this one sticks, maybe that's part of the problem with why this one didn't take as well in the image as this one has done previously. So I've put a coat on there. I'm just going to give them another quick second coat to doubly seal this in before we then get started and put the actual photo on. Let's put those images out of the way. What you'll see actually before I remove them is I'm deliberately going for very similar tonal images there. Two of them are identical. Another one was from the same day shoot. This was just family snaps. This is my little nephew, bless him, and my other nephew. So I thought they would work well. And what I've done is I've taken them to the store on photo paper. I asked them to copy it through a laser copier onto basic copy paper. And that's exactly what they've given me. And then I've just sliced them out onto here. So it isn't photo paper. Interestingly enough, someone on our Facebook group has been doing some where she's applying the photo paper straight to the wood and then sanding the edges, staining the wood, sealing it. It looked fantastic and I'm going to have a go at it for a craft idea later on today. But for now, keep on track. I'm just going to push those to the side and let's give these a second coat. So I'm going to go against the grain. I'm feeling a bit awkward trying to hold this for the camera. I'm going against the grain first to apply some. And then go back with the grain. You see what I'm saying? It kind of takes it off with it, so you can't over apply, I don't think. Okay, that's you. did just rinse this out in between, so we're not getting the same product applied. So this one should sit on the surface because it's now got a coat already on. You done. So it's not taking many minutes, but I just think it makes the difference come the end. I'm just sick of doing this and they don't work out. So let's eliminate any possible options where we might be going wrong. Now this one I know has stuck well first time around. This really only needs one coat, but let's keep it fair. And then our Mod Podge, which does feel quite watery. Okay, so I'm going to leave those to dry, seal them in again, and then I'll come back and we'll actually apply the photo. So we really are giving this the best start it can have. It's been sanded down, it's had 2 coats of a seal on there, and then we're going to apply these photos to it. Now I'm not too worried in this case about sealing the back of them and things, because as I said, these are ones that I've already done prints on that I showed in a previous video of fail on. So really I'm just doing these instead of scrapping the things. I thought I'll flip them over, we'll sand them down, and I will just run this test through. So these aren't going to end up as products that I'm giving away, sadly. They are just purely for this demonstration. So I would suggest to you that you seal around it and do the top and bottom all in one go, but not happening here. Right, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so all of these pieces of wood have had 2 coats now of their representative gel medium. Now, same again, I find it quite bizarre. I've got a real glossy coat on these 2, and on these 2, you wouldn't know I'd applied anything to them. It's not going to come out in the photo, but yeah, I find that quite bizarre. And like I said before, it may well be the reason this is just sort of soaking straight in and not really giving any glue. So anyway, let's work through them. I'm just going to start this end and go through. I'm going to pop these products over to the side. I know which is which because I've written it on my desk here. So obviously we're applying this face down. Done that before. I want my grain going sideways as well. So this is what we're going to do. I'll apply it down that way. Let's make sure, there we go. We're in the center of the screen for you. So I'm just, as I've already done, applying another coat of this. I'm running it this way first. So I'm going across the grain. Probably makes no difference, but gives me something to talk about. And then back the other way. Okay, so it is taking a lot of that off in fairness, but it's getting exactly the same application as every other product here. I'm as light as I can with that sponge. That's the faff, is trying to get to the edges of it. Right, so you can stay there a minute. And I'm popping my photo on. Don't want to press it down until I'm happy it's in position. There it is. That's pretty much edge to edge. Got my little faithful loyalty card from the local curry house. Really should get them sponsoring these videos, shouldn't I? Right, now I have flattened that out. There are no bubbles on that at all. Looks like it's gone on evenly. Really don't think there's anything more I can do with that to improve it. So what I've got to do now is to sit and wait. So number 1, done. Let's run through. Now this is going to be a pain because I'm going to have the excess product on here. Actually, that's come out quite well. First time using these sponges. They're only a few pounds on Amazon. I figure if I'm going to do this, let's get the right kit, eh? So, you're done. Next one along is my decoupage stuff. We don't dunk this one, we squirt it on. Well, you can see that this is a thinner product, can't you? But there it goes. Let's have another photo. Doesn't really matter which one. Face down, going against the grain again, or going grain sideways. So again, stick that one down well. It doesn't feel it, even just by doing that, it doesn't feel like it's stuck as well. We'll find out. I don't need to fast forward, do I? I'm going to be quite quick. You can skip it on yourselves if you're not happy. Reeves, what's this one? This is the one I was running out of. It's a lot thicker on there. It's already got a coating nicely showing as it is. Face down. I haven't made the mistake of putting any face up yet. Has been done. Oh, I've just realised my nails are mucky from sorting some wood out earlier. No, I got picked up on the comments once. Somebody said that my nails were mucky. Shocking. You lot, so critical. Right, that one's done. Mod Podge. Now, I didn't think Mod Podge was going to be any good, if I'm honest. I was going to use a different brush actually, because that one won't fit in here. But it has sealed it. So it may well be that this will be a surprise contender. Now I am going to have a go at using a hairdryer, because I'm in the mood at the minute. I'm enjoying this and I'd like to finish it up. So might well give it a go and see if it seems to dry it out and do a good job. Okay, right, so that's you on there. Last little pick. Press it down. Done. Right, this stage is over. Just going to get rid of that bit of glue off the desk. Well, these are all sitting here dry, looking identical at the minute. Let's just take them two at a time and soak them and start lifting this paper off. And I guess well, it'll be very interesting to see what results we get and whether one product is better than another. So they're all gel mediums. They should all do the same job. But like anything, it'll be interesting to see if there's different qualities. So this is just cold water. I'm just really using the sponge to dab it on initially. And then I'm just going to be using my fingers to rub it off. Actually, there's no harm in having these others soaking off now as well, is there? Here we go. Fingers in. Now I have just run another test through before I did this one and had some excellent results. Really, really pleased with them. So I'm expecting great things from this one as well. I was really gutted the other day running them through and failing, you know, it just kind of makes me think, oh, what am I doing wrong? How can I get it so bad? But with hindsight, I look and I think, I'm kind of glad that I did mess up like that, because if I just kept going through and didn't have any problems, and you're reaching out to me and saying, oh, I'm struggling with this, if all I can say is, don't have any problems with mine, then it doesn't make me very useful to you, does it? But the fact that I'm showing you my fails as well, hopefully makes me more, I don't know, I was going to say approachable, but we're on the same page here. Right, now that's looking good. I'm getting to a point where I'm thinking I ought to leave that and come back. I've taken a good chunk off there in a very quick session, and yeah, I don't want to push my luck. He says still rubbing. Right, definitely, there we go. I'm getting into trouble now. Now, in the past, what I've done is to try and get all this pull this loose stuff off. What I just did earlier for the first time and had good results with was to just nick the wife's hairdryer and zap over it with that. Now, while I wouldn't recommend, I don't think the hairdryer would be good for the initial setting of this. I think for this stage where you're just trying to dry out the paper before rubbing it off again, it's been brilliant. Literally 2 minute zap with the hairdryer has saved me waiting for hours for the thing to dry. So thank you for that suggestion. Actually, I quite like that I'm not sure which one's which here. So yeah, I'm not actually going to have a look at these until we get to the end. It's so exciting. Right. That one's lifting. I'm hoping this isn't one of my good ones. I'm going to go a little bit more, I think, yeah. So I am just, I mean, you've seen this, I'm assuming you've watched other videos of mine. This isn't the first one you've come across. If it is, then I definitely recommend you have a look at some of those others. But I am just really letting my finger glide over the top of this. I'm not putting any weight on it. There's an edge. There's another. Right, you're stopping at that point. So you and you are done. Clear the decks a little. Now these have actually been sitting for a little while with water on them because I just had to change my cards over in the camera. It's a wonderful thing doing this. Right, I am tearing that. I am backing off. You are done. Let's come on to you. Now this one looks like it's bubbling almost. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here. I really can't remember which was which. Which I'm quite pleased about because it makes it more exciting. Wow. Massive slice just gone out of there, look. And again, my money is on this being Mod Podge. So I'm actually quite excited to see that we are getting different results here. Makes me feel like I'm going to be a bit more knowledgeable at the end, which won't be hard. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is zap the 4 of these. That look a right raggedy mess at the minute. I'm going to zap them all with the hairdryer, and that means it won't be many minutes before I'm back doing stage 2. Right. What a mess that one's looking. They've all picked, well, that's my best. Nothing really is lifted off that one. Very tiny scratch in there. This one's gone in the light patches. Light patches. Here we go again. So this is our third go at wetting this down. And to be honest, when we're getting to a point where it's coming back looking pretty saturated, it's almost ready just to have a coat put on. I could live with that at that point. And the fact that around Malta's face there it's coming off, I definitely don't want to go in those areas. But they do just need another little last go, don't they? Right, I reckon you are the first one done. This one Is it worth touching? I brought it back to give it one last go. Bah. Really couldn't go any lighter. Right, that's pointless. I've taken half his face off. There's no point carrying on with that, is there? This one, not a lot to come off. Right, do I need to do much more to you? Probably not. I'm rubbing a lot of his little face away there. So what do we think? Well, it looks to be the best. Both of these haven't done bad. Definitely the worst. That one's not too bad. In fact, these three are quite similar. That's the best. We'll see that when we've done our last bit. I'm going to give them another zap with a hairdryer now, and then we'll sand these edges off. Well, here we are. We're at that last stage. Actually, this has been really quick. Normally, this takes me ages of hanging around, but with this hairdryer trick, I'm loving it. So, Mod Podge. I'm reckoning that's Mod Podge anyway. Oh, hang on a minute. No, I've got to sand. Good job you told me. So this is just, I don't think I've said it in this video, this is just a sanding block. It's just like having a bit of sandpaper wrapped around a lump of wood really, but I quite like it. 1. 3. Oh, you ain't even worth it, that's a joke. Right, so I want to give it a good coat, and what I found last time was that by using the brush, I got these really strong defined brush strokes. And I'm hoping that by using a sponge this time, I'm going to be able to eliminate that. So I would definitely be going all around the top and bottom of these. I don't want to lift it over because I don't want to see what's under it. But these have definitely warped, and I just think if at that early stage I'm properly sealing it in, I think it would make a bit of a difference on that. Well, here they are, the end results, and yeah, there is actually a bit of paper just coming through that. I might give it another last coat of Mod Podge just to properly seal that in. I did zap it with a hairdryer because I'm getting a bit into this. But I think it's good enough to be able to see. We're at the end. I mean, that one was a scrap. Now, how we're going to do this, I promise I haven't looked at these, which is which. These are our 4 products. And I'm thinking that Mod Podge is going to be the least. This decoupage will be next. I still think Reeves is going to come out top, so that puts them in that order. I'm assuming that one goes there, and that one's rubbed the next worst. So I'll put that, I'll tell you, let's do it this way. That one, and then that one. So let's have a look then. Mod Podge, yes, got one right. I'm pleased about that because Mod Podge is different to the rest. It isn't a gel medium. It shouldn't be up here. I haven't had good success with it in the past, so it just kind of confirms that that's right. What do we think here? Decoupage, so yeah, got that one right as well. Again, I'm quite pleased because it just shows the fails that I had last week with this stuff. And this here, I've put this as inferior to these two. So I'm guessing that answers that has been part of the problem. No, that's Reeves. Oh, I haven't got a clean sheet. So that should go with that one, which means we have a new winner. Liquitex is our best result. And I'm pleased with that too, because if this had come out top and stayed top, I can't get this anymore, so it really would have been frustrating. And this is the one that I have been advertising, I've been promoting it just because I know it's available on Amazon. It's been easy to recommend. So I'm pleased that this is now crowned our winner, and it's done a great job. So are all gel mediums equal? It's been an education to me. In fairness, this shouldn't even be here. It isn't a gel medium. This I wouldn't go for again. If you can get hold of Reeves, then fine, but I will be actively promoting this one now and able to confirm that slight differences, but they're not all equal. It's a great product to go for, gel medium. And here we go. So I hope that's been helpful and interesting to you. I've certainly enjoyed doing this little review, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks ever so much. Hi, I'm Adrian Salisbury, this is SNR Coaching, and today we're going to have a shootout between these 4 gel mediums to see which does the best job of transferring a photo onto wood. Okay, so we've done a lot of photos onto wood. Mostly I've been using this stuff, and a video that I've just put up was a bit of a fail. I put a whole load of these blocks, in fact it's the other side of these, and this ran out. Bought some more of this stuff. I was told it was the same, but whether it's because of that, whether it's because of a lack of sanding, I had a batch of fails, and I'm not happy with that. So I want to get to the bottom of it and figured, why not have a bit of a shootout? Gel medium is definitely a great product for this. I've always done well with this one, but because it's made me think there's a difference, I've figured let's have a go. This is one that I linked to on Amazon but haven't actually used. It's just that I thought it was the same stuff. Very keen to give this a run. Mod Podge I've never done well with. I had a couple of fails. Photo onto guitar, photo onto canvas. Look them up in the playlist, and you'll see that this totally just pulled the paper, the image straight off of the product I was sticking it to. But why not? We've got 4 products here. Now, one of the things I think was a fail with using these little wooden blocks last time around is that I figured they were smooth enough and I didn't need to sand them. But this time, I'm a step ahead and I'm trying to eliminate any problems that there might be. So I've taken my little sanding block and I've just given them a really good sanding down, going with the grain. And yes, I can feel that it is different, and maybe that was where I went wrong. So stage 1, we're going to sand these down. Now stage 2, something else that I think should have done last time around. I got straight into it, I got my brush out, slapped on the gel medium, put on the photo, left them to dry. This time around, we're just priming it. We're actually, with each of the products, I've put a coat on already. And it's quite interesting because this one, which is my good one from before, has got a glossy finish on that. I can tell that I've painted onto this. All I did was to take my sponge, dip it in here and brush it on. So actually, because you're applying it with this, it will take quite